Oh, we back in the building. It's your boy Mikey, man. Can we keep it real? Another VoYce Sports Tuesday, man. You know, this is the third one in a row. I think the numbers from the first week, I think they were already better than 6,000 views. I haven't checked the numbers from last week, but yo, you know, like we always do, I gotta thank the ones that make this possible, man. Shout out to Coastal Homes, Coldwell Bankers, Mark Wright, a presidential award winner. You know, I usually got music when I'm doing this. Maybe that's why I feel like I'm not in my groove, man. I got to put on the locks real quick. So call 401-787-5203, a presidential award winner. And you already know we're going to be back at it. Friday Night Lights, your boy Mikey going to be out there again where people don't want me live streaming these games. You know what I mean? But you could check out the highlights on NBC 10 right after the game. Shout out to WJAR Channel 10 and Fan Sports Only. And a big shout out to our VoYce Sport Reporters family. Dynamic strength and performance, you already know. And we can't forget Champion Drive. I know it by memory. I think if you're in the Maryland or DC area, right, give Champion a call, you know. But we'll let Wayne fill you in. We're going to bring our boy Wayne in 1 second. Let me make sure. Oh, and if you're looking to get recruited, give our elite recruits a call. And Emerson Kilgore, you know our guy. If you want to go to college, you want to take the road with someone that's been there, someone that went to a D1 school when there was only about 6 people from that particular state that went D1. But we're going to bring Wayne VoYce Matthews in, man. Not only he had his hat upside down today during his live stream, I was trying to tell him it was backwards too. Wayne.
What's going on? You know how I razzle dazzle. You know how I'm a finagle the bagel. Yo.
There we go, man. You always rhyming and shining.
I got to do it. Hot bar, son. Again, a great weekend, man. Excited to see you, Mikey, man. Excited, but I am a little distracted because I got some Hennessy. Barbecue wings over here from Legacy Seafood, another proud sponsor of DMV Red Zone. Hey, VoYce Sports trying to holler at you. Tastes like a winner over there. Hey, man. A great weekend, man. Capital City Carnage. Great teams coming in, and of course, can't say anything about it without talking about my man Samson, the bad guy, who should be in the rotation somewhere. There he go. You know how I'm saying? And then on top of that, you still got a great slate of games coming up this week to get excited for. So we got a whole floor of some great stuff to talk about and then some. Again, if you enjoy what you're seeing, make sure you hit the Cash App up for Can We Keep It Real? Also, we accept those donations at $ the VoYce Reporters. You know how we do. This is the VoYce Reporter Show. Tuesday nights will never be the same. A&A Athletic Consultant brought to you by, that's right, none other than the AD Laverne Champion Amaker. You're trying to find and understand your way to school. You know the AD got you. She ain't no fool. Girl got more degrees than a freezer knob. There she go. Look at you, girl.
Hey, what's going on?
Man, you know we keeping this stone cold.
Yeah, I got 2 computers going on here and a phone. I'm like, Lord have mercy. This how it goes.
We on Twitter now too. We live streaming on Twitter, just so you know. It was a new addition we was able to do this week. So definitely share that. And if I could figure this out, we'd be on Caffeine by next week as well, man. So thank you to Caffeine for giving us that hookup, iHeartRadio. But
bro, you got on Caffeine, bro.
Caffeine. You know what I'm saying? Like when he says, they be calling me.
They be calling me, dog.
Well, you know what caffeine? What caffeine is? Caffeine's the YouTube for the hood. Really, it's trying to bring people from the hood, from the culture. You go on. Caffeine's put up by Drake.
Drake runs Caffeine.
They partnered up with Smack White out there, URL. So you got a lot of battle rap over there. You got a lot of sneaker. There's a lot of sneaker streams going on. It's a lot of urban stuff going on Caffeine. But,
yeah, I love it.
You know, so definitely we'll be on Caffeine. I'm trying to get it going in a few minutes. But I just wanted to butt in and say all that stuff. Floor is
Hey,
yours.
why didn't you tell me Legacy Carryout was so good, girl?
I forgot because I just went there last Friday, and actually,
Yeah, man.
the two of the people that were working there were kids from that were in the culinary program at Friendly
Say
High
word.
School. So they were in the kitchen.
Yeah, Lee. Hey, look. I don't want to lead nobody astray, but I gotta get this Hennessy sauce off my fingers now. Lord have mercy. Hey, a lot of great stuff that was not only tasty this evening, but tasty this weekend as big games took place. We had the OG Ducks come in from California to face off against the DMV Knights. We had the Cincinnati Elite Bearcats come down to face off against the District Heights Chiefs. Boy, the game is one thing, the story after is another, and all of the implications afterwards continue to say youth football is continuing to rise with more than 12 different schools out of the venue to look at the kids. So for all you people at home who keep saying social media and this fake exposure, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of student athletes that got looks this weekend and may have a shot at going to high school for free at a great school. So keep playing them games. We out here. Hey D, how was your weekend before we get started? You always gotta take care of the ladies first.
Oh, my weekend was busy. It was busy, of course. After Friday night, work Friday night, then Saturday morning, had a few things to do with following up on trying to get each one of my sports programs rolling and looking at facilities to make sure they're ready to go because Diamond Life softball or baseball training is coming out, so I got my crew ready for that. Because again, of course, we're here in the East Coast. We suffer with softball and baseball too, but we got great athletes, but they don't train. And then on Sunday, of course, my women's flag football game occurred. We won. So right there,
there you go. Look, you're so
catchers,
modest. We
Dream
won.
catchers, 8-man. We running right now. We still rolling. And then after that, just trying to prepare for the school week.
Well, for those people that's home that's listening on iHeart or Caffeine or any one of the great outlets that we already rocking with, can we keep it real? Let's talk a little bit about A&A Athletic Consultant before we start talking football X's and O's, because I know Samson chopping at the bit.
Our A&A Athletic Consulting is a group of, my team is made up of educators, coaches, parents that have had kids in both private and public schools, so they know the difference between the benefits of both sides of it. And we support and help parents and the athlete move through this process right here. Is that you see on your screen. These are the things that you got to consider when thinking about going to college. But we approach it from the aspect of being a student first and then the athlete, because the student part has to be first. And so the key thing, once you become a student athlete, I always tell everybody, you choose to do more. You choose to have two ways that you have to go to school and satisfy. So you have to satisfy your NCAA requirements or your NAIA requirements. Because that's an NAIA, a lot of people don't know that even exists, but that is thousands of other colleges that exist. It's a league just like the NCAA, but they just have different colleges listed. Explaining to kids like the benefit of possibly going to junior college first. Yes, you have to do your 2 years, finish that out, but then your eligibility, you don't have 4 years of eligibility, you have 2. But will that be the best thing for you? Talking to students through that aspect. Then, of course, the eligibility center. And then the key thing is with these 8th graders coming in, where it says NCAA core course that you see right there, that's where we sit down with the parents and say, let's look at your high school and map out your 4 years right now. Let's map that out. So that means that if a counselor don't ever do that with you, you already know that you have every year you have pulled your core classes that your high school offers, not some random ones. It's strictly based on everybody's high school. And you can map your course out and then just roll with it from there. And and then of course the whole key thing is we look at the full overall wellness of the athlete, and discuss their mental health, and as well as maintaining their bodies, and to ensure that they can have some longevity. Yep.
Now I
So
got a
we have
question that
our
many
thing is by.
people.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I had a question. A lot of
No,
parents
I was going to
often
say.
ask. They misunderstand a lot of times all of the phases that go into it, and many don't understand the purpose of taking the once you get registered with the NCAA, why you have to turn around and take your those classes in your high school years, those AP courses. Help understand what the importance of those are and the clearinghouse and the confusion that comes from that.
Well, AP. Okay, AP courses earn a extra point. So if a regular class gets a B, say a regular class gets a B, you get in a regular course, you get a B. If that was an AP course, that B would get more points. I mean, that B would get 4 points for A. Is that AP class is way more. But
Okay.
however, you only get a college credit for AP classes if you pass the AP exam. And so what happens is, so you don't get any college credit for anything if it doesn't pass the exam. So, but you can
Awesome.
still get your it boosts your grade point average. Because so you wonder how somebody get a 4.5 or 4.2. That happens because we had a lot of AP classes.
Best,
So it is a
Jimmy.
benefit. But then you got to also understand that if you should not do well in that class, it can hurt. So you got to know what your strengths are.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
And
Welcome also to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My man, many of you know him from all over television, and my man Kenny, Mr. Friday Night Tights Long. What's going on, player?
What's up, man? I was actually just trying to get onto my actual computer so I can get on my main camera and my main microphone to talk to you guys.
Always good to have you in representing for type of man. By being your first time on the show, tell everybody a little bit about yourself so we can get down to business because you're going to love some of these coaching questions.
Well, Kenny Long from the show Friday Night Tights. I'm also the host of on the Type of Sports Network, The Zone, on Type of Sports Network, Wednesday nights starting at 8:30 p.m. Central. National Youth Sports Radio, where I go around the nation doing football tournaments. I'm also a high school play-by-play operator broadcaster for high school football in San Antonio. I'm also the television sound engineer for Texas Sports Productions on ABC affiliate KSAT 12 and the big game coverage in San Antonio. I'm also the voice of the Little Elm Lobos High School baseball, varsity baseball here up in the Dallas area in Little Elm, Texas. I do a lot of things and I stay very, very busy.
That's my dog. You see, that's why he's a voice reporter. You hear him before you see him. Man. So, AD, as we go back, I want to finish touches bases on the A&A Athletics component. For those people who want to get in contact with you, how would they go about reaching you, and where would they go to check out this website and get greater info on that?
you can go to the website at Vigilant, VIGILANCESTC.com. That is the A&A Athletic website. Or you can inbox me at Laverne Champion Amaker on Facebook, or A&A Vigilant AD on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Either one of those. Yeah, you can contact me, inbox me, and we can get going. We can get
All
going.
right.
The first 30 minutes, the first day is complimentary. The first 30 minutes is complimentary. At that point, we could, there's a brief checklist. You just contact me. I'll send that to you, and then that way I'll know when we begin to have a conversation what approximately our starting point will be. And then after that, we do it by monthly subscription, which is very minimal monthly subscription on what is current rates out for the type of services that we offer.
Can I ask you a question
very
for the
personalized too.
for the people that might be a little confused? What is the GPA and your core? What's the difference between your GPA and your core GPA?
Well, when you see your report card, you see all of your grade point averages, just all the classes that you have taken. Those are all general classes, everything. Your core GPA is made up of your English, your math, your social sciences, English, math, social studies, and your social sciences. Those 4 core areas are what makes up your core grade point average. And so what happens, you have to do what is called 10 by 7, 10 core courses completed by your 7th semester. Your 7th semester is the beginning of your senior year. Your senior year
Hold up,
begins
so I
your
don't get
7th.
extra credit for getting A at lunch?
No.
I don't get extra credit for that?
So your English.
No, sir. Not gonna happen.
Really?
So what happens? You
Really?
have a 3-point average in your overall classes that includes your gyms, your art classes, and those things. But when you abstract those 4 classes out only, you can end up with a 2-point something. And unfortunately, that is where people get caught up. And right now, you have to have a 2.3 grade point average to satisfy core grade point average to satisfy the NCAA.
That's why I asked you that question. A lot of people, I think that is a good question to ask because a lot of people get confused over, oh, my GPA is this, but what is your core? And they're like, my what?
Yeah. And there are some various worksheets. And so we'll work through the worksheet and say, this is where it is. So now the question comes, well, what can we do to pull it up? But what happens is you cannot be an early qualifier if you do not have a 3-point or above and grade point average. So you're not eligible to be an early qualifier at that point. So you've got to be, you would be in a regular mix after January.
You go.
Definitely
so there's some
check.
stipulations trying to be early qualifier and things like that. Yeah.
Every student athlete's path is different. Make sure you get in contact with the AD and get an idea of what you're going through. If you're gonna get on this yellow brick road, you better learn how to boogie down, get your slippers right. Because we getting ready to get down to business. AD, you in here, so you have been automatically ordained into the youth football fashion police. Woo, woo, woo. Youth football fashion police in effect right now. That's right.
Here it comes.
We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it.
Yo, that's some Fat Joe might have picked that outfit out. They better send. Is that Burberry? Are they rocking Burberry?
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
My man say flag on you.
Flag on the play. Listen,
and you.
On everybody.
Punjab strikes again.
It reminds me of insensitive feelings.
I gotta blame. I got to tell you, I can't blame the kids on this. I can't blame the kids. This is on adults. Are you freaking kidding me?
Listen, that is Listen, that is like 10, 15-yard penalties at one time. That is absolutely horrible. Listen, it was a goofy-ass individual created that.
Hey, Yogi and Boo Boo. These kids look like they're about to play football for some picnic baskets.
And then you put flat red helmet.
This looks like
flat. Come on, bro.
This is as bad as sending your kid to school. At this time in these days, in a 77 Saturday Night Live leisure suit on the first day of school.
Come on, man.
Listen, this is.
Hey, look.
Danny Ontario and she's doing some Saturday Night Live stuff.
Look at the kids' body language, though. My one man, he don't even want to take the picture. He just standing there like,
he's like, come on, hurry up.
They're not happy. Look at their faces. They're not happy.
Go
They're
ahead,
like,
man. They rocking the style. They can go straight to the club with that uniform on right now. Just take the helmet off, go straight in the club, baby.
There's no way
you
somebody
ready, man.
That mock-up. There's no way. Those were free.
That's that Pakistan company. That's that Pakistan company saying, man, I can get it to you in 3 weeks.
Somewhere somebody's proud of that, and they got a purse to match.
I'm gonna tell you who's proud of that. Jerome off Martin is proud of that. That is horrible. That is
dynamite.
Nowhere in the world.
Or you don't score until you score. My goodness.
And I hope they won the game.
Hey, it's all good. Hey, I bet they turnover change gold.
Nah, listen.
You got that turnover change. One's a goat. You got one that's a goat. He's probably wishing someone take this turnover chain and take these damn uniforms with you.
Hey, listen, that is horrible. That's drip gone wrong. That's drip gone.
Hey, babe,
wrong.
look, somebody somewhere loving it,
No,
and
sir.
they in their element right now. I don't know. You get to decide, ladies and gentlemen. You in the comments box. Do you kiss it or do you diss it? Yo, VoYce reporters put it out there.
Whoever loving this, let me give you some information, some very valuable information right now. Okay, so everybody listen. Very valuable information. If you like these uniforms, I can tell you for a fact that you love Studio 54, and Studio 54 went away a long time ago.
He took it way back.
Hey, look, man. They come out to the field and got the Bee Gees playing. They need staying alive when they walk out the press out the joint on that.
That is
it's right, man. What you need to Andy Gibb? I got some Andy Gibb. Run a loop of that, man. Give me some of that. Huh?
And I guess when they lose the game, they walk off the field to where did my love go?
That's right. Too much heaven no more.
I'm not putting my kid in that, bro. I'm not putting my kid in that. Man.
Oh, come on, man. I'm telling you, man, there's a team mom somewhere that got a purse to match this joint. They was doing it.
You're not.
We might be hearing someone's heritage.
Your kid's starting. He'll be a starter.
Man, again.
He just got to wear the uniform. He'll be a starter.
Now, hey, Mikey, pull that down. Pull that down.
Yeah. Hold on.
Now we have conversations about uniforms all the time because of we always in the press box. I know the AD get to chime in because she done seen some joints that was yeah. But as an announcer, as a broadcaster, as media, what is your biggest grievance when it comes to looking at these uniforms? Is it the color scheme? Is it the numbers? Is it the name tags? What is your greatest concern with this? Because again, there's no way around it. Somebody's going to keep buying from the Punjabis and all these dudes that be hitting up in my inbox, and this is going to keep happening. So what is the biggest thing you look at when you see a uniform and go, man, this needs to be addressed?
From the press box, it's got to be the numbers, man. I got like, especially after this weekend and what we dealt with in Capital City Carnage, where the mom came in and was like, you didn't say my son's name or number. Well, lady, you see it. Like you got a black uniform with a black number on it. Like, how are we supposed to see that? Like, so with me,
300 yards away. Now I'm a beast, but I can't see that.
Yeah, I got to be able to see the numbers. Anything else you do to it, other than that shit we just seen, anything else you do to it is on you. But I got to be able to see the numbers, bro. I got to be able to see the numbers.
Kenny, do you have an issue down in Texas?
As a broadcaster, that's I mean, as a broadcaster, your biggest issue is you've got to be able to see the jersey numbers. You got to have a roster with names and numbers, and you got to be able to see the numbers. And this is to the extreme with this whole plaid crap, whatever they got going on there. But I've had that issue. I did an event in West Texas. I did an event in Odessa, Texas, out in West Texas, and this coach is this organization owner comes to the box, and he's sitting there talking about, oh yeah, man, how do you like my uniform? They're sweet. I love them chrome. What do you think, Kenny? And I'm like, well, yeah, they're clean looking uniforms. They're white with silver numbers with no outline. Really, dude? And you're playing a game in the middle of the day. It's bright in the sun, and I can't see who is who. Is that number 1? Is that number 11? Is that number 2? Or is that number 22? I can't see his numbers.
Yeah.
What would make you think put silver on white with no outline would be good?
I don't know, man.
He got butthurt.
We did a game this weekend where they had camouflage bumblebees on the field. You couldn't see nothing. Yo, it
was black and yellow with yellow numbers.
You couldn't see nothing. It looked like it all ran together. It looked like it all ran. Like it looked like the team had just left a paintball competition.
AD, what's your concern when you see these uniforms like this? I know it don't really matter to you when teams run out the tunnel, but what comes to your mind when you see this? Other than going to the nightclub.
Well, primarily, I had not necessarily the look of them; it's the fit of them. Those that are too tight, they can't even trying to pull them up, hold them up, or the big
that's
boys,
cheesecloth.
they
Punjabi
it
cheesecloth.
meets under their butt, and then of course if it's visibility, they get distracted. Too much going on causes distraction on, like as Kenny said, with sun glare coming off, you want some reflector going on, it's like, what is it? It's afraid. You look good, you play good, but don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Boy,
That's a word.
hey,
That's a
look,
big word.
them joints was created by Buddy
uniforms
Love.
Be
You
fine
better stop.
the disco ball around.
You better stop. You better
He said
stop.
Buddy Love.
I think them uniforms wouldn't be so bad. The distracting part for the opposing team, for that team with the plaid, would be a disco ball.
That's right.
I thought the Shriners were coming out. I really did when I first seen it, because I seen the bottom of the image. I said, the Shriners are here.
I put the joint in the group. And Mikey says, "Is that Burberry?"
No.
Got some Louis Vuitton over there.
No doubt. Now,
Some
on
Christian
a serious tip for you coaches as well as the athletic director, I had an interesting conversation come my way, and I'm gonna play it in front of you guys. Where typically on the youth level, whether it's 6U, 7U, 8U, 9U, 10U, or 14, at what age do you start, or what age as a coach do you start letting your quarterback go through their check downs? It's always been told to me and shared with me with some coaches that typically when the coach calls a quarterback over and gives him the play, he tells him who to throw the ball to when it's snapped. When do you give control to that quarterback as a coach? Honest question from you guys.
I coach right now. Go ahead, Kenny.
I didn't mean to interrupt you there. It's kind of hard to see who's going to go first. I think that's based on individual players. I don't think you can put a time frame. I don't think you can put an age on it. It depends on the smarts of that quarterback that you have. You know that I've seen a lot of different quarterbacks. You've got Lucas Coley right now at the University of Arkansas as a freshman. He's on the squad. He's dressed out. He's on the sidelines. This kid graduated high school at 16 early and started his first semester at the University of Arkansas. This is a very, very smart young man. Watching him play as a youth, he might have been a quarterback that I would have said, "Here's the play. This is what I want you to do. But if you see something, then you know who your check down is. You need to look at this person." And that may be somebody I would rely on. Where I've seen some other ones where they still need constant guidance as a youth player. They're still learning the game. It may be middle school, it may be high school before they get released to really do a check down, to have a 3, 4, maybe even a 5 read offense. So I think it just depends on the individual. It depends on the child, how well football smarts is, and how progressed they are. You've got Austin Christian right now, who's one of the top youth football players out there, just started playing middle school.
You talking about the Wizard?
His name is the Wizard. I mean, he's somebody I would probably, as a coach, would look at and maybe practice with him to see how he does, but give him that opportunity to maybe check down and have 2 or 3, maybe even a 4 read offense where he can check off of the main play and give it to somebody else when he sees something.
Yeah. Shouts out to my man JT the Cannon, quarterback down there in Texas. My man Lil Torres doing this thing too. So let me take this question and tweak it a little bit when I come to you, Samson. How old is too old for you to be telling the quarterback who to throw it to?
When he starts playing quarterback.
For real?
I'm keeping it real because I'm gonna tell you why. Again, I coach 8U right now. I've coached a 13U quarterback. I've coached a 10U quarterback. I've seen high school quarterbacks that when they leave high school, they can't read an offense. So when it's time to go to college and they get thrown in that fire, the coaches want to switch their position because they don't even know how to read an offense, because we got high school coaches around here that's still giving them what we call predetermined routes. They're telling them who to throw it to out the gate. You're never teaching them that way. My 8-year-old nephew, my brother teaches him right down at 8 what his reads are, what his check down is. He'll give him a 2 or 3 read pass route and teach him right down at 8 what his reads are, to the point where he's sitting down and he can watch TV and be like, hey, why did he miss this read? Or why he didn't go here? So with me, and it's not hard to teach, in my opinion. That's why you can start that early, because it's a thing of repetition. The more reps you get, the more reps you get, the more reps you get. It's no different than playing Fortnite. The more they play the game, the more they figure out the board. The same thing with the football. The more reps they do it, the more times they do it, the more you give them different things to read, the better they get at reading it. So I think you should start as early as they start playing quarterback. If they get to a 10 or 11 years old and you still got to tell them, now, there's situations where a kid might not have had a good coach until he's 10 or 11 years old. That's different. But if they've been playing quarterback since they were 8 years old and they've had decent coaches, then they shouldn't be still being told at 12 or 13 what their read is. If you're going into high school and you don't know how to read, or you don't know your checkdowns, then you better change your position in high school, or you better learn it. You better do a 4-year cram course of learning how to do it real quick, because when you get to the college level, you got to know how to do that.
Hey,
and he's got the hardware behind him to
she's
back
gone.
him up. She'll be back. Yep, they'll be back on.
Okay, good. All right, so now that leads us up going into the next question is I know we all have spent our fair share of time at various levels, be it youth, middle school, or high school, as well as college and some pro games. I had an article that was submitted by Renee Berry, R&B, our VoYce sports reporter from out of Indianapolis. And she basically gave me an article about this young woman who was describing how she went to the field this weekend and fight broke out, ironically. And at some point in time, she was told that she needed to go to the other side of the field because she was on the home side of the field, and that there was a parent that went to the car to get their AK, and he's coming back to shoot people. My question to this is, when do we get to a place where you need to bring automatic weapons to a youth football game? And Samson, I'll give you the floor first on this.
That's goofy, bro. The word of the day is goofy, and that's a goofy something. If you're leaving, if you like all bullshit aside, if you're going to a youth football game and you feel that you have to bring an automatic assault rifle at that, you have to bring a freaking a war weapon. Let's keep it real. To a youth football game, then you shouldn't be there. If you feel that there's that much of a threat, and you feel that you have to protect yourself to that level at a youth football game, then you just shouldn't be there. You got something wrong within yourself, because that is just ridiculous, bro. There's nothing that could happen at a youth football game that would warrant you to have to pull an assault rifle. That's just crazy to me. That's crazy to me. And I mean, you can't even be there for the right reason, because nobody that's there for the kids would have them type of problems. That's just my personal opinion.
Maybe it's me sounding like an OG. Maybe it's me stepping into that realm. Maybe it's me just expounding on it for the OGs that's not here. Yo, from as long as I can remember, no matter how much went on in the streets, no matter where it went on in the streets, the true OGs always kept that stuff away from the kids.
Facts.
I don't care how tough or how hard body you wanted to be, that type of stuff always was removed from the kids, whether they could see it, be a part of it, hear it, or be impacted by it. So my message isn't to challenge anybody. Hey, you want to come out and show me your chrome pistol? My challenge to you is, let's go back to the old school, and where my OGs at, they clearly will let it be known. This is something that can't be done, bro. And it's unwarranted. Kenny, your thoughts on it?
Well, Wayne, I know you've been a part of my shows in the past, and you've listened to my shows on the Type of Sports Network, which I just realized that's how I'm connected here. I pause my camera for a minute. I've had the same message for many, many years. Unlike other people, maybe yourselves, I don't know. I've not lived the streets. Okay. I'm not somebody who's been influenced or part of gangs, anything like that. Okay. I'm a former police officer, United States Air Force Security Police Law Enforcement Specialist.
You don't
Was
play
a
GTA or
detective
nothing?
for a little
You don't
bit.
play no GTA, no Call of Duty, no Medal of Honor?
My street cred comes from being on the other side of the street, and that's from the law side of the street. And
Okay.
I've dealt with youth many years. I worked as an LA County Sheriff's Deputy.
So you can give us
in
a
Compton,
perspective from
California.
5-0.
Oh, so you
give
worked
us
in
the 5-0
LA
perspective.
and Compton. You worked in
Here's the
some rough
thing.
spots.
Come on.
Yeah, I've been in the rough spots. But here's the thing. It goes back to the same message I've had every single year. Then I do this show every single year. And that is remembering why we are out here. Why are we doing this? Because we are here as mentors for the youth. We are here for the exact reason that we don't want them to live the life that we had. And that is keep them off the streets. Get their minds involved, make them think, make them become productive citizens of the world. Whether they become NFL football players or top college NCAA Division I football players, or they just find a free ride to get to college and become a doctor, a lawyer, a contractor, whatever they choose to do. That is what we're here to do, not to show them exactly what we're trying to keep them out of, and that is gang life, street life, drugs, alcohol, all that crazy stuff that derails people's lives and derails those people's lives. They're now living through these child's lives, but yet poisoning it with these kind of actions. That has always been my message. And if you are not about that, you always hear that comment, oh, you ain't about the streets. You're right. I'm not about the streets. I'm about these kids. And if you're not about these kids, then take your ass on out and go do your life like you want and keep these kids out of it.
There you go. AD, I know you ready. Give it to me from a perspective. Now I know. Look, the sheriff gonna walk through.
I had to go get an alcohol. I had to go get a beverage over that.
You got emotional.
All right, I missed part of the question. So what's the question I'm answering?
There was a young lady that submitted the report that she was out of the youth game, and she was told she felt scared for her life because she was told another parent was going to the car to get his AK and shoot up all of the visiting teams. So my question was, when do we get to a place where carrying automatic weapons to a youth game or any game for that matter is imperative? So by the time Samson answered it and Kenny answered it, as well as my 2 cents, as an athletic director, if you're at the field and you hear somebody going to get a weapon, I know what's your first resolve to it, and how do you deal with keeping it from happening in the future, even if
Well, typically, unfortunately, situations like that where it was a ministry, and when anybody that leave out that fence, you're not returning back into the game. And then you tell security once they get to that parking lot to ensure that they leave the premises. And so therefore, if something's going to happen, it's not going to be within the realm of my territory that I'm administering. And so when people have the in and out policy, this is what people, fans hate it. However, it serves a purpose, because when you walk into that stadium, you might have came in all right from the beginning, but then things transpire, people's minds go cuckoo, they hear something, that things start to aggravate them, then they go to the car at halftime or whatever they do, they might go at that point and get that weapon, and then they come back and now they just prepared themselves because somebody irritated them, said something to them like, you don't need to, anything, you talked about my kid. Because again, when people are running their mouth and talking in their stands, you don't know who's around, you don't know who the people are connected to. So that's why you got to be mindful of what you're saying out your mouth. But if somebody should ever go to the car, leave out the fence, the in and out policy has to be really enforced. Secondly, once they get to the car, and if you share who that person was, and then you can identify and let security know, get that person off our premises. It is suspected they may have a weapon. You don't have to go out there and check them. Whatever y'all protocol is for police, that's their job at that point to handle at that point. But we, as administrators, we tend to, at that point, ideally lock it down to where that person cannot be a factor.
Right. So
Then they're
again,
gonna say the first thing they're gonna say, is my child still in there or their family in there? I left my wife's stuff is still in there. All right, we'll tell them who they are, and then they'll walk out with you, but you will not come back in here.
I think we all at some point in time addressed the issue of misplaced aggression in the bleachers, whether it's from the parents verbally, physically, and the escalation of it, the way it impacts the student athletes, especially in the recruiting process. Because if the school finds out your mama's cuckoo, your daddy's cuckoo, they not gonna talk to you. I don't care how many touchdowns you score. If your mama cuckoo, she can't come. So don't think it doesn't bother the schools, or they could care less about you. They recruiting your son. You're a part of the package that comes along with it. So again, let's be a little more mindful parents as we move out here and do our thing, laughing and joking. Understand you won't get upset every now and then. It's an emotional thing. Many of the fans in the stands are female and emotional, or males are prideful, just as emphatic. We want to get to a place where we can understand that it's about the kids, for the kids, and if you got to do all that, bro. Keep it over there somewhere. As we roll into the final section of the night.
Hey, we ain't being politically correct tonight.
Hey, come on, man.
I'm good at that.
What you mean, man? I'm keeping it 100, man. Hey, look, but then again,
when you running for office?
Me? I ain't running for office, dog. I'm barely running to the press box. My knees popping.
Before you get on that,
ozone.
Before you get on that next subject, Wayne, when you start talking about people yelling from the stands, how do you, and I know coaches allegedly don't have their favorites and don't have kids that they dislike, because we're human. We just have people that rub us the wrong way. Now, when a parent starts yelling, "Hey, you should have put 21 and you should have put 21 in," and that player gets benched, how should the parent handle that? Because ultimately it seems like there's a problem with a coach and a parent at that point, but then the player is being affected.
You about to open up a can of worms talking about
because the coach.
You about to open a can of worms. You got parents in the bleachers counting how many touches their kid got, how many targets their kid got.
But that's just an example, and then the player gets benched on account of it.
I seen it at a semi-pro game this weekend. The dad talk about throw my son the ball. These grown ass damn men.
Yeah.
It was terrible, man.
We got so many professionals in the stands yelling, run the ball, throw the ball. Bad call,
I can't say I've ever had anybody do it. I'm not saying it to wish it on me or any way, shape, or form. But Kenny, have you ever had somebody heckle you from the stands?
Dude, I've been heckled so many times. It's not even something I can measure anymore. And it's funny, and I know where he's leading to. He's talking about even the parents yelling at coaches and this and that. I actually about 5 years ago was doing a football youth game, and it was in the stands. It was a nice little field, but all of a sudden he comes up next to me, and everybody could hear it on my crowd mic. He literally stood right next to the microphone and was yelling at his kid. Now, this, mind you, this stomped. It's like all 32 in the second quarter. And he's yelling at his kid, "Get over here. Get over here." The kid was on the far end of the field. He finally listens to his father, comes running over, and his father yells at him from the stands, "You go and you knock the shit out of that. I don't care what your coach says." And I just kind of leaned over and was like, did you really just say that? Did you really just say that? It's mind how adults and being involved in high school football now, more and more high school, it's very evident the change that occurs, because these same parents that were that vocal in youth games and trying to influence a youth game, trying to influence a youth coach, try to do the same thing to the high school coaches. And I've had many conversations with these high school coaches about that, and they said it's very simple for them. They get a parent that's calling them up and demanding, "Why aren't you playing my kid? How come my kid's only getting one touch a game? Blah, 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 this and this and this, that and that and that." And he said, "It's very easy for me. I sit the player. He just doesn't play on my team."
Well, we need them coaches over here because it don't happen that way down here. Down here, these coaches are scared to death when they get them phone calls.
I'm gonna play a quick video of Coach Kurt Hines. He's actually he coaches in San Diego, California. He's actually went to school up here in Rhode Island, but he's gonna explain a conversation. It went viral about a player coming in and quitting, and he didn't talk the kid out of it. He was actually happy the kid quit, and he'll explain why.
Let's go.
Come in and quit, and I couldn't be happier. I really could not be happier. This young man was struggling all season with making it to practice, with committing, never looked happy. Some stuff going on, but I couldn't be happier because he came in, things washed, shook my hand. I said, sit down for a minute. And he started to explain, his family's always been a football family. They've always loved it. My father and my brother. And I stopped him. I said, do you love it? And he looked at me and he just breathed this deepest sigh of relief and said, no. I said, I'm proud of you. And I just saw his whole countenance change. He just smiled from ear to ear. He said, you're doing the right thing. Football is not for everyone. Couldn't be happier. Coaches, support your players if they want to be great. And if they want to be great in something other than football, support them just the same. Take what's worth, stay strong.
That's Coach Kurt Hines. He was actually voted the most inspirational high school coach. He was voted the most inspirational high school coach in America.
Chowing up some chicken.
Wayne thought the commercial was going to be, you should have been quicker with that.
Good caught me wrong.
Samson.
Hey, look, Samson.
Hey. Good on you there, Wayne. Good on you.
Legacy, baby. Good right.
Some people gave that coach a lot of crap for not talking the kid into playing football.
You never talk a kid. Again, I think people forget. AD said it like 2 weeks ago when we first kicked this thing off. Football is a violent sport. You cannot force somebody to be violent. It is only going to get them hurt. If they do not want to play this game, you do not put them on the field. You don't talk them into playing the game. That is only going to get one or two things going to happen. They themselves are going to get hurt, or they being scared is going to get somebody else hurt. If a kid wants to quit and he just wants to quit because he don't love the game, he don't want to play the game, then you let him quit. You do not try to talk him into playing because that causes injuries. It makes no sense. Not only that, he's not going to give you 100% because he don't want to be there. So he's wasting.
That's when he get hurt anyway.
He's wasting your time. Yeah, he's wasting your time, and he's taking reps from another kid. So it's if they want to quit, you let them quit. That's me. That's how I look at it.
Let him go.
Hey D, what you got? What you got on that? You feel the same way?
Oh, definitely, I feel the same. One I've done, I just, asked probably what was the reason why, to know contributory factors to ensure that it wasn't anything going on in the program itself that really rubbed him further away as to trigger. It's not anymore. Easy. I mean, okay, this is what you want to do, fine. But that only thing I probably would have is, was there anything happening with this sport in itself, coaches, team-wise, to, cause you to quit?
All right.
Or not. I don't like to even necessarily call it quit, because sometimes just because you change your mind doesn't mean you're quitting. Interests change all the time, especially with children.
Okay.
When my daughter first stopped playing basketball, when she was in the 8th grade, said she didn't like basketball, I was heartbroken. I was like, oh, what you mean you ain't playing basketball? And then she picked up volleyball and softball. And so it wasn't that just stopped doing whatever. She asked me, if I said I wanted to cheer, would you have supported me in cheering? Because I'm not the rah-rah kind of person, as far as relating to that. But I said, if that's what your choice was, and that's what you had a passion for, then of course I would support you.
All right, bet. So now we can really open up this final segment. I didn't even have a chance to talk to Mikey about it, but I think everybody here will be able to accommodate it well. I'm going to call it 3 minutes of fire. You get to talk about your NFL favorite team and vent. You got 3 minutes of fire.
Oh, wow.
All we ask you to do is tell us who your team is first, and then Mikey starts the timer, You got 3 minutes to vent on what you seeing right now, whether it's in the past or it's in the future. You got 3 minutes of fire to say what you got to say. And I'm gonna go like this. I had the first person ever to do it be Kenny. We're gonna go to Kenny, and I know he's a Cowboy fan. After last night, he probably go for 35 minutes of fire.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Come on.
Yeah, yeah, Dallas Cowboys all the way. I mean, obviously, I'm in Texas. Anybody who's in Texas either goes for the Cowboys or the Texans, and the Texans suck, so there's no way I could ever go for the Texans. Cowboys looked good last night. Real happy with the performance. Of course, then again, at the same time, you got to look at who they were playing. It was the lowly Eagles. The Eagles suck. We all know they suck. Washington sucks. We are going to win the NFC East. That is no question in my mind. The question is, how well will we improve? I liked what the defense did. I liked how they looked. I like even the I'll tell you what, that backfield, that has been a stickler for me on defense. That is, our secondary has always been horrible. They looked really good last night. But again, you got to look at who we were playing. We need some quality opponents. We played Tampa Bay. We played them very close. We nearly won that game. That was very inspiring. Our the next game was a win. Here, this should have been the type of win that we had with the Eagles because they suck. Did I say that the Eagles sucked enough? I just want to make sure I express.
I'm sure you said it enough for
how
Eagles
much
fan
the
to get
Eagles
upset.
suck right now. They will continue to suck, and they will always suck. I feel bad for Jalen Hurst. He needs to find a new team because it sucks playing for a team that sucks. Cowboys,
Damn.
all the way, go Big Blue, and I'm not gonna be one of them Cowboy fans that says we're headed to the Super Bowl. I can't do that. I'm a realist, and I think we have the pieces to do this, but I think there's still a lot of work to be done. Still a lot of work to be done.
All right. There you go.
And you didn't even go in on Jerry Jones yet.
Look.
Oh, that would take an entire show for me to go into Jerry Jones.
Mikey.
Cowboys and the Redskins. I'm a big New England guy. You see the helmet, New England Patriots.
Unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately, you see what happened against the Saints. They scored 3 points. They need line help. They get rid of Cam Newton over a vaccine mandate. Was it the Tom Brady show or the Bill Belichick show? You actually kind of have to wonder, can one man break a team? Can one man hurt a team? Well, it seems that way up here, in New England. But they spent a lot of money this year. It's something that Belichick don't do. So we'll see what happens. I'm so consumed with high school football. I really have a chance to really catch up with NFL games anymore. It's like I blink. Someone's like, "You watched the game?" I said, "Oh my God, it's Sunday. The games are on." I'm sitting in front of this computer trying to figure out OBS Studios or something.
Right.
Samson got knocked out on us, but he said, "I'm out of here. You talking NFL, man?" Maybe he'll tap back in.
AD, you got 3 minutes.
I don't need 3 minutes. And unfortunately, right now, you might cut me off when I tell you this. Baltimore Ravens, baby.
Uh-oh. Had to go on the big screen for that.
Oh, look, you put her on the big screen for that.
Baltimore Ravens, I tell you, they blessed my soul with that 66-yard touchdown, that field goal. I've always liked the Baltimore Ravens for, I don't know, I guess it's that energy that Ray Lewis
You're destroying our
they were
relationship
really,
now.
I know it. I think they're a stand-up club, but I did get upset with them when they sit there after they had won that last Super Bowl and they dismantled the whole team. And I was like, what are you doing? And then we went, 3 years losing again. So now I think we turned the corner, and I'll just continue to enjoy these W's that we're getting right now.
Oh,
and of course, my husband, he's a Ravens Nation, and this was a battle royal in here when they played each other 2 weeks ago. But
there you go, Wayne.
Yeah.
For a little something
I don't
want
to see that. You put that on my screen. Lord have mercy. He put it on the screen.
Really, for me,
somebody want to see no
really
Ratbird logo.
Football.
But the Ravens been known to break up teams. You look before they were when they were the Browns, they had that nice team. They got all them nice draft picks, they got the Ray Lewis, the Ray Rice.
Yeah.
They kick Belichick out of there, and then they break up and they end up becoming the Ravens. I did a story about how not to bring the Patriots back up, but how Bob Kraft actually changed the architecture of football. You don't buy the Patriots, they're going down to St. Louis. They become the St. Louis Stallions, I think it is. New England will definitely have had a team. You had the Oilers that were looking to move at the time. You had a couple new franchises ready to pop up. Does one of them end up in New England? Does it change the architecture? Does it change the architecture of the league?
See, Kenny, Kenny, you get to shine now because we got Hood Skip already. He's subject to go skip on us at any moment. But hey, look, but it's all good. Man, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I can't tell you how depressing it is to watch my quarterback. I know can't throw the ball 10 yards, and you still got him out there. Earlier this year, I did a show on the TD Report, my man Tony Kennedy, president of Crab Bowl, and I said that the Steelers would get out of this season just above 9-7. That would have to be the pace set that right about now Mason Rudolph should start the next 2 weeks. And by week 6, going into week 7, I'm expecting Dwayne Haskins to be the starter. We'll go on a nice run towards the end of the season, but right now, I want to be the first one to say this to every dude that's in the Steelers locker room. No more pregame TikToks. No more moonwalking. Whatever videos y'all shooting, reason why 10 minutes out on the field, you got a groin injury. I got a groin injury reading about the groin injury. Okay?
Wayne, how painful was it to be beat by the Bengals?
Do what?
How painful was it to be beat by the Bengals?
Oh my gosh! Do you know how many people going to inbox me? We-Day? Where'd that come from? I'm still talking about who-day. Why-Day? The boy's terrible, man. I'm not gonna go as hard as Kenny, but the Bengals suck.
Oh,
that's right, and that's right. Got to get what is it? Hey, Kenny, I know you've been seeing this too, and I know Mike has seen as well. That's the final convo of the day, and we can let everybody get up out of here. What do you think is the key contributor to all these blowouts that's taking place? There's so many teams getting blown out, 20-0, 30-0, 50-0. Would you say that's coaching? Would you say that's Corona? Would you say that's poor conditioning? What would you attribute all of these blowouts to?
I would love to go first.
Go ahead, Mike.
Bring up Corona. Now, Skip has to come out now.
Come on, Skip.
I got teams up this way right now that are using Corona to duck big games because now it's considered a no contest. Like the game never happened. You really don't need any proof. So you have a lot of these divisional games that need to happen for seeding. Big rivalry games. You have two teams that are 3-0. One team is easily ducking the other team. The second part, these coaches are taking their egos with them. They're bringing in people for the popularity name. They're not coaching the kids up. They're too busy doing TikTok videos. They're too busy not putting the kids in the gym, the off-season conditioning, COVID, kids not training. I can keep going and going and going about so many shutouts because it's just ridiculous right now. And we're not doing these kids any justice, but stop ducking.
Kenny, what you think? Is there a method to the madness? Is there a reason for all the blowouts? Because there's been a lot of holy moly donut shops, please hold the flies, going on around here.
So what area are you talking about with all these blowouts happening?
Everywhere, but whether it's the pro level, there's some blowouts on the college level, and I'm definitely going to not bite my tongue about high school and youth.
Well, how about Texas, Kenny? Is there blowouts in Texas right now?
Let's be honest. In the college level right now, we're just coming out of that first part of the season where you're going to have these blowouts. I mean, they're scheduled that way. These are tune-up games. These are games that these teams are supposed to win because they want to get ready for divisional and district play. It's the same way in high school. We have the same thing here in Texas. Usually the first 2, sometimes 3 games of a regular season are those non-district games that they schedule with teams that they know damn well they're going to blow out. But it's all about getting players that playing time and getting ready for district play and then heading into the playoffs as they go. So it's kind of hard to measure there. As for the NFL, it has everything to do with freaking coaching. Okay, if you got an NFL team with all that talent, all that money being spent for that talent, I mean, how many times did I watched a game? I can't even remember the name of what game it was, but the passes were on
Philadelphia
point.
Eagles and the Cowboys.
It wasn't the Eagles and the Cowboys. It was another game I was watching during the day. They kept dropping passes. I mean, these were passes where these receivers should be catching, and the commentator on the game said it best. He was like, "You're getting paid a lot of money. You need to make that catch." Plain and simple.
He dropped that pass. He got that Rona.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy what's happening with that. I understand, but you can't measure it pretty much at youth. There's always going to be blowout. It's always going to happen. But at the college level, even at the high school level, you know, these games are set up for that reason. Some teams go out and actually pick quality opponents to play. Like my Nebraska Cornhuskers played a fantastic football game against a ranked team, Michigan State. Scared them. We almost won that game. You know, so it was a very, very good game that they played. Nebraska right now has been the whipping dog for the last couple of years. They're starting to come out of that, and people are starting to recognize that. I'd expect next year that these teams like Michigan State and outside of their conference are not going to want to schedule with Nebraska because they're getting better. They're going to be looking for the Troys. They're going to be looking for the Louisiana State. They're going to be looking for the Bicentennial University.
Yeah, they don't want to play Oregon. They'll play Oregon State. They won't play Oregon, but they'll play Oregon State. Yeah,
they have their tune-up games. So I don't see that much of an issue with it. You asked, Skip. You asked about the high school football in Texas. It's the same. But we're starting to get into district play. I just did a football game Friday, fantastic football game. It was a non-district play, but these two teams are rivals. Went down to the wire. It was a great game. Now let me go back. Please take a step back and hit in a minute because I didn't get to a phone call. So I didn't get to address the Steelers.
You call him Skip.
Kenny don't know the joke. He's probably busy. He don't play around with you guys all day.
You call him Skip, so that's what I did.
Yeah. Nah. So hey, Kenny, how about my guy over there, Nebraska Cornhuskers, of course. His name now. Oh, Nate Turner. Played for the Bills. Played in 2 Super Bowls. He was on the show a couple weeks ago. And you just mentioned Nebraska Cornhuskers, and he's a former alumni of their NFL alumni in Nebraska. You know, I figured I'd get the Skip thing out of the conversation.
We totally skipped that conversation.
Well, I will.
But he's great crank on my Steelers, so I'm glad you blocked him right there for me. Because I don't. Kenny like to break skin. He don't know how to just talk casually. He breaks skin.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead. Close out.
I am a Nebraska fan. I have been a Nebraska fan since I was a kid. My dad went to the University of Nebraska. I've always been a fan of Nebraska football, and I always will be, regardless whether they're winning or losing.
All right.
So, there you go.
Nate Turner, when you get off, check him out. His son plays in Chicago right now. He should be a good prospect.
And if I'm correct, Nate, you're talking about Nate Turner. Nate Turner was a former tight end for Nebraska.
Yes,
right?
Yes, exactly.
I actually met Nate Turner at the Blue Gray High School All-American games here in Dallas, Texas. He was here doing the broadcast for the video replay for those games, and him and I had a fantastic conversation. Love Nate Turner.
Nice guy.
Here you go. So, Kenny, tell everybody where they can see you and how they can catch up with you, man.
Tell us about the Steelers first, Ken.
Back to your Steelers.
We closing out. How you going to just do that, man?
Back to your Steelers.
Yeah. Skip.
So
we're not CBS. We don't have a
Skip.
we don't have to go to a commercial break.
Skip. back to your Steelers there, Wayne.
Go ahead, man.
I'm going to
Go ahead,
quote,
man. Here we go.
I'm going to quote a movie. This is something that needs to happen in the Steelers locker room. They're doing these TikTok videos and
Hey,
what
where
have
that
you.
dip sauce at? He talking crazy, man.
Yeah, you've seen the movie Moneyball. Like, granted, it has nothing to do with football; it's baseball. But you see the movie Moneyball, and he comes in. Billy Bean goes into the locker room. He hears all the music playing, all the laughter after a loss, and he goes into there and just makes a mess of the place, starts yelling and screaming, and getting everybody to shut their mouths. And then when everybody stops, it gets quiet, and there's Billy Bean. He goes, "That's what losing sounds like." Maybe your Steelers need something like that.
Man, they need some Rick James tickets. They need a bottle of Michael's secret stuff. They need anything.
They need something. They need something. So Wednesday nights starting at 8:30 Central Time, I'm on the Zone on the Type of Sports Network. It is also the same platform that you guys are using here, which is fantastic. I'm glad you guys found that out. I did the same thing. You catch me 8:30 on Wednesday nights. 8:30 p.m. Central Time is when we start. This Wednesday, I'm actually going to be starting at 8 p.m. I have a special guest that's coming on. They got some great information for those of Typha. And just so you know, that is just a Typha, Texas Youth Football Association show that I do. Of course, NYSR, National Youth Sports Radio, which is mine. I haven't done any shows as of late. It's been a very, very busy year. It's been a good year, fortunately for us. And after being, Wayne, you know all about it. We've had some pretty hardships, my wife and I, but we've managed to get through them and things are looking up. So be looking for NYSR to be back on the air pretty much on this same kind of platform as well. We'll be back running as soon as possible. I know baseball season will be coming up soon for me. So you'll hear me on NYSR and other platforms as well. And I'll put those out for the Little Elm Lobos, high school baseball and 6A baseball here in Texas. I'm doing with Texas Sports Productions. We are on the ABC affiliate KSAT 12 and their big game coverage app. You can download that and catch some fantastic high school football. We probably broadcast anywhere from 16 to 18 football games on a Friday. I do the Thursday television broadcast, which is also live stream on the KSAT 12 big game coverage app. I am the sound engineer for them, so you get to hear all
some money. All that bread you making, man, give me some money.
They ain't no bread, man. It's crumbs. Called crumbs. I'm living on crumbs here.
Breadcrumbs got Hansel and Gretel to the house.
Friday nights, I do high school football via radio on Texas Sports Productions. I'm also connected with Bernie Radio out of Bernie, Texas, so I cover the Bernie High School Greyhounds and also the Bernie Champion High School Chargers. So it just depends on what games they want me to do for that weekend. This week, we got a week off, so I'm actually going to stay home this weekend. I'm not going to be traveling to San Antonio 4 hours from Fort Worth. And I get to spend some time with the wife for once in a while. And a lot of great things coming. Of course, you got the Brett Cooper Jr. Academic All-American Games I'll be doing in December. I believe I'm supposed to be back up near your way up there in the Northeast in Boston back around July 4th.
Oh, so you be up here with Mikey?
Yeah, so
right down the street, we'll have to hook up. Right down the road in Rhode Island.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be in Boston, probably covering the same event that I covered this past year. We'll see how that goes. I know they told me they want to be back, so we'll see what happens. But just watch the NYSR Facebook page as I post anything and everything that's coming up. The biggest thing right now is the Brett Cooper Jr. Academic All-American Games that are coming up for NYSR. I do 2 shows out there. One where I do interviews with every single player involved in the show. And then, of course, I hold a Cotton Bowl preview show.
Yeah, hey, we got to get the short version.
We got a collab. We need to do some collabs over here.
Hey, you asked. So I'm giving you the rundown.
We want the 30-second version, not the 3-hour book.
What is it? Promote these youth sports, man.
And
it's all good.
That's why when your guys start bumping off of the Facebook Messenger group that we're on, sometimes I can't answer because I am just too darn busy.
And the messages come fast on that group.
They do.
Man.
Yeah.
AD, what you got going on? What you got going on? Where they can reach you at?
Right now, pretty much I'm working with an organization. You know, of course, I like, again, my organizations always look at the holistic and trying to help. So because I coach outside of A-Day athletics, I'm still taking appointments. You know, again, do your initial on that. What is it? Aid for athletes. Aid for athletes. Follow that tab. We'll put it back in the stream. Aid for athletes. But also because of the fact we wanted to address the what I had asked you all about as far as the fundraising. We know everybody needs money to operate their programs. So let me highlight you on this. There's an organization I'm working with, and we all play our gamers. There, you cannot really find a household, I don't care what income you make, that doesn't have a gaming system in it. So, but the organization I'm working with is United Fundraising League and the EACL, which is the Esports Amateur Competitors League. And we are giving nonprofit organizations, especially the youth organizations, licenses to host tournaments. And so pretty much you get your base here, you get your back office, and then people will register through your loop to play, and you're in bed. That's how you would generate your revenue. And that's that simple. There is no cost to you at all. And it's about to be live. And so they got all gaming. Oh my God, the number of games that's out there for those that are the sports side and those that are like the Tekken side. You know, there are games for everyone. And so if you want to know any more details about that, then just please hit me up to be a tournament host. Because Ed, you know, as the owner, he said, you know, we're gonna stop giving these away in a minute because it's anxious. You know, people like, I want to be it. But his mission, as when he started this, is to actually just allow the community-based organizations to get their foot in. We're always going to be consumers, but we don't ever get nothing from it. You know, so now it's time to get fed while you play. And it's called adult social gaming. So you might be seeing a lot of things called UFL. You might be seeing ASG, movement, all that kind of stuff. And that's what it all is. It's gaming, what they call gaming for a purpose, and generate money while you play.
Awesome stuff.
So let's so hit me up on Vigilant AD inside my box so I can give you the details and get you rolling, get you started.
Wayne, give me a piece of that chicken, man.
Man, here, I hook you up, dog. Hook you up, ain't but a couple pieces left here, boy. You see that thing is gone.
They might have an app pretty soon for that.
Definitely. After this weekend coming off in Capital City Carnage, we had some outstanding games take place at Freedom High School as the OG Ducks came from San Bernardino, California. They faced off against the Showcase Sharks on the 8U level. You had the 10U Ducks face off against the DMV Knights. You also had the Cincinnati Elite Bearcats face off against the District Heights Chiefs, and the OG Ducks and DMV Knights 11U, which is our VoYce Sports Game of the Week. All of those live streams can be found on the VoYce Sports page or YouTube under DMV Red Zone. Again, killer collaborations is VoYce Sports and DMV Red Zone working in unison. This Friday, we'll be covering the games at Rock Creek Christian Academy against Friendship. On Friday, on Saturday, we'll be back at Freedom High School. 6 great games as PME will be facing off, having their homecoming weekend. And on Sunday, we'll be at John Champ High School with the Loudoun County War Eagles and the Loco Hammers. A lot of great stuff going on locally, but we want to make sure we give you that information from everywhere. As we get ready to shut down, I want to say thank you to everyone who contributed to the show. My man Kenny Long, Samson the Bad Guy, my girl always in the place to be, the AD. And of course, my man, nobody can work the wheels of steels like my man Hood Skip. My man Mikey Bello. Mikey, you want to close us out with something slick? Give me some D-Block up in here, man. I need some music.
Some D-Block. I wish I had some on deck. But thank you, everybody. It's always been a great week. To the AD, a lot of people are interested in what you're doing. Emerson Kilgore talked about it all week. I love Emerson. I wish he had a chance to get on today, but great guy. But thank you, what everybody's doing. You know, Wayne, I love what you guys are doing. Samson with no P. All right. So just so you know, if you look up Samson, it's Samson without the P. I love what he's doing, man. He's really going out there, working for VoYce Sports. I had a great conversation. I was involved in, Clinton and Tony were talking the other day about, ref officiating and targeting hits, and just so many great conversations on VoYce Sports. It's great to meet Kenny. I'm really interested on what you do, so I'm gonna definitely follow your radio programs and everything you do. How do you sleep? When do you sleep? But
very, very
He needs
rare.
the mic on. He needs the mic on.
You have to. But what we do, we don't do this for the money. You know what I mean? We do this for the love of the game. We do this to promote more kids. We have more kids in colleges now playing sports than I think we have had in a long time. I know my state in '96, we had 3 people, in Division 1, and now we just got there's hundreds of kids across the board in NCAA college. So salute to you guys.
It's the work, and we all are part of the wheels to make it happen, man.
Thank you for what's out there. You are doing something very different. I'm sorry. I said you and Wayne doing something very different. I just been, the spotlight out there. For people to know, stay involved, get resources. So it's very important because, again, other than that, you're just working in a vacuum and you're not making an impact, but you're making a tremendous impact. And I appreciate hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, definitely, man. I look forward to Tuesdays, man. Thank you to the people that make this possible. Champion Drive, shout out to you guys. You already know Wayne's on. If you're in the DC or Maryland area, and you want to get to the field in style,
that's right.
Check out Champion Drive, man. And also check out these guys right here, DSP, Dynamic Strength and Performance.
Dynamic Strength and Performance. Nobody works harder than my man Ferron Carter to get your mind, soul, and body in order. Go to the website at www.dsp.net and download the app where you are and get a personalized workout regimen from my man Ferron himself.
And definitely a big shout out to my guy, Mark Wright, Coldwell Banker, Coastal Homes. I couldn't do it without the help of these people. You don't realize doing these live streams, it's not free. You got to pay for these apps. You got to make sure you have that good Wi-Fi. You got to make sure, there's a lot of equipment that goes along with this. And, and we take the time to do this. At least take the time to share it and like it, or at least listen to what we have to say, and stop all that damn criticizing.
Yeah,
sorry,
let us do
I just
it.
had to add that in.
Yeah, let us do it. Y'all be good, man. I love everybody, man. Incredible show.
Excellent. And shout out to vigilantsports.com. Definitely check them out. Miss Laverne, I'll put that address link in the stream as soon as I'm going to copy it right now, matter of fact, before we get out of here so people can have it. Give me 1 second. Wayne, what do you got going on this week? Any shows on tap?
Man, I'm getting ready to lay back in my style. We got a lot of bookings coming in. We preparing for the events out of town, as well as this weekend again, Rock Creek Christian Academy high school games on Friday. PME, Playmakers Elite, will be doing their homecoming on Saturday. And again, we got the Loudoun County War Eagles and the Loco Hammers on Sunday. So I got a full weekend. Me and Samson going to tear this coastline up, man. We got work to do.
Yeah, definitely. And Kenny, when you're in Boston, maybe I'll check you out, and we'll definitely talk soon. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. See you next Tuesday.
There you go.
Have a good night. Thank you.
We out.
Okay, stay out.
Okay.
So we'll put this last one back up. Yeah, I'm just trying to get all the links up there before I sign up out of here, man. Nice for them to come in. VoYce Sports Tuesday. Shout out to Champion Drive. Big shout out to my guy over there, Mark Wright, Coldwell Banker, Coastal Homes, the Presidential Award winner. If you're looking to buy a home, give Mark a call and check it out. Mount Hope Bulldogs game. Big game going on October 1st. Bulldogs really put a whipping on Rogers, man. They got a good game against Mount Hope. We'll see if we could check more of that out. But, VoYce Nation is where it is. I'm going to leave you with this quick video, man, because you know what? There's been a lot of violence going on that football field, man. So as soon as I seen this dude come skipping along, I knew it was on.
Came up pushing him. He's coming after him. Get the kids off the field. Oh my God, Raymond.
Get the kids, get the kids.
You know, we can't have stuff like that going on. Too much violence going on the field, man. But everybody, thank you. Shout out to my man.
Keep It Real Podcast Network. Shout out to Can We Keep It Real Podcast and Network. Appreciate the support, homie. Thank you for chopping in or tapping in.
Big shout out to Adam. You know, wish he didn't stutter so much during that little clip, man. But we out. Thank you.
You nervous with butterflies in your stomach? Don't try to intimidate me. You couldn't scare me with lip. I'm spontaneous, smart, dangerous, fancy and quick. My trainer told me to work. He ain't prepared me to quit. I'm the only captain who's sailing this championship. I gotta hold down the city. Gotta let you know where I come from.